Hello, everybody. Today we are multiplying and dividing rationals in real life. Number one here says Mrs. Neville is baking 5 batches of cookies. She will need 2.5 cups of flour for each batch of cookies. If she begins with 20 cup bag of sugar, what is the resulting change in the amount of flour in the bag? Well, so what do we know? We know she has 5 batches of cookies. She has 2.5 cups per batch. So because she's using 2.5 cups of flour for each batch, it's negative because she's using it. It's going away. So it's being used. It's negative. What do you need to know? What is the change in the amount of flour in the bag? Well, really, what they're asking here is how much flour did she use? So I set you up right down here. So we are using negative 2.5 cups of flour times 5 batches. I converted your mixed number to an improper fraction for you, and we're multiplying it by the 5 batches. So remember that a whole number goes over 1, and it's going to equal basically your answer. So remember that you're going to multiply straight across. So negative 5 times 5 equals, that'll be your numerator. 2 times 1 will be your denominator. Now, I converted this improper fraction for you to a mixed number, so technically you could put negative 12 and 1/2 as your solution over here. But what I really want to see is that you can multiply these fractions together. And remember your rules, a negative times a positive is a negative, so that's probably the most important thing. All right, think through the situation, then follow the rules for integer operations. Draw a number line or model to help. All right, if you would like to do that, but I am setting you up down here. For number 2, Jody has 6 1/4 pounds of candy to use to make Valentine goodie bags for her classmates. If she puts 3/8 of a pound of candy in each goodie bag, how many Valentine bags can she make? So what I understand here is that this is going to be division. All right, because she's going to be dividing up the 6 1/4 pounds by 3/8 of a pound. So she's going to take the 6 1/4 and divide it by the 3/8 she wants to use to figure out how many Valentine's bags she can make. So again, I set you up right here. Okay. Now, the important thing to remember here is that we got to convert a mixed number to an improper fraction, and this is your dividing fraction. So it's keep the first fraction, flip the sign. Keep the first fraction, change your sign, and flip your second fraction. Keep, change, flip. And again, you're going to be multiplying your numerators right across and your denominators right across. Now, I wrote a note down here. What you're going to end up getting if you do convert your improper fraction to a mixed number, all right? When you get your mixed number, which looks something like this, 6/1/4, all right? You're going to end up dropping the fraction, all right? So I wrote a note down here. It says change the improper fraction to a mixed number. Your answer will not include the fraction because they want to know how many whole bags she can make. So if you get, for example, if you had 6 1/4, you would drop the 1/4 because it's only a fourth of a bag, and that's not a whole bag. All right. Okay, number 3. Avery bought 6.5 pounds of produce. If the produce was priced at $1.88 per pound, how much change did Avery receive if she paid for her purchases with a $20 bill? So what I did here was highlight your decimal places. Okay, because when you are multiplying decimals, you can drop the decimal places when you're multiplying and then add them in at the end. Again, I felt like it was a little confusing, okay? So your answer actually has a extra 0 in it that you're going to end up dropping. Okay, which is why it's in gray. So you're going to need to multiply these two numbers together. Okay, and here's the work done for you. All right, there's going to be some blanks here. They are the exact amount of numbers. Okay, and this 0 here is a placeholder because when you are going to be multiplying this 6 by the 8, this is really 60. So when you're multiplying multi-digit numbers, every time you're moving down a level, you need to add a 0. So this is the ones place here. So 5 times 8 times 8 times 1. Okay, you're going to be getting your answer right here. All right, but when you do 6 times 8, this is really 60 times 8. So I've moved down a level, and I need to use a placeholder such as this 0. Now, these zeros in gray are gray, okay? Because what you end up having to do is drop the 0 here, okay? You never see an amount of money with more than 2 decimal places, right? So you're going to end up dropping that 0 in your answer. Now, once you get your answer after multiplying these numbers together, you're going to need to take it away from 20 to figure out how much she paid for her purchase. Okay? So she paid with a $20 bill, okay? And then we need to subtract the products from the 6.5 pounds of produce, and that produce was priced at $1.88 per pound. So the per pound here tells me I need to multiply it by the amount of pounds of produce that were there. Okay, and because she paid it, it's a negative amount, right? So we are subtracting. All right, number 4, it says a container of rainwater is evaporating at 1.2 centimeters a week. After 8 weeks, what will be the change in rainwater level? So evaporating is negative. So it is evaporating, so it's negative 1 2/10 times the 8 weeks. So I have evaporating at negative 1.2 times the 8 weeks, and then that's going to give you the change in the water level, okay? So your answer is going to be negative, all right? And don't forget to put your units, okay? So it's going to be negative. And then don't forget to put your units. All right, I crossed out number 5 and number 7, so I'm going to go to number 6 here. Number 6 says a homeowners association charges a $3.85 fee for each day your payment is late. If a bill is paid 13 days late, then how much will the homeowners association charge in late fees? And again, remember, if we are charging something, it is a negative. So we have negative dollars, right? So we are negative 3.885 cents. So I got negative $3.85 here times the 13 days late will give you your answer of however much the homeowners association charge in late fees will be. Remember, a negative times a positive is a negative. All right, number 8. A class is organizing a going away party for one of their students. They spend $26.38 on decorations and $78.92 on food and $34.50 on a gift. If there are 15 students in the class who agreed to split the cost evenly, then how much does each person owe? So this is what she spent. And because it's spent, it's negative. So we need to add up all these negatives. If you don't know how to do this in a calculator with a negative sign, if you don't know how to put a negative sign in a calculator, you could simply add up these numbers and just make sure your answer ends up being negative. Okay? Now, your answer here is the total amount the class spent, and we're going to divide that by the 15 students to figure out how much each person's going to owe. Okay? So this is going to be a negative divided by a positive. So whatever amount total you got of what they spent, you're going to divide that by the 15 people, and that's going to tell you how much they spent each. Okay, number 9. The table below shows the change in a stock price over a period of a week. If 12 shares of stock were purchased on Monday and sold on Tuesday, then what was the loss in earnings? So on Monday, the stock price was $16.87. And they bought 12 shares of that. So one amount of stock was $16.87, and they did 12 purchases. So that's times 12. Then on Tuesday, the stock was sold. So on Tuesday, it cost this much, and it was sold. So it's going to be negative. So we sold all of our stock. So we have negative $16.37 times 12. Okay? And I guess a quick piece I can add in here is that when you buy and sell stock, the idea is to buy low and sell high. So I bet this person wished they bought the stock on Friday and sold it on a Monday. Okay? They would have gained money, but in this case, they are losing money. All right? So after you get your answers here, your products, you can simply subtract them to tell me what the loss is. Now I wrote negative sign here because it's going to give you like a regular positive number, but the loss really means the negative. Okay? All right, that's going to be it for today. To summarize today's lesson, you can write anything from the top here. Maybe you can think through the situation and follow the rules from integer operations, okay? Or maybe you can tell me a little bit about stocks. All right? You want to buy low and sell high. It's a great summary for an important life lesson, right? Stock market's kind of in a bad way right now, being we are in a recession, right? So a lot of people are losing a lot of money. However, I got to say this, is that if you wanted to buy some stock, now would be a great time because the stocks are low. So because they're low, it's most likely they're going to increase over the next couple years. All right, so you want to buy low and sell high. All right, everybody have a great day and stay safe.